Hi, Destiny the Floating Head here. Let's have a conversation. And I specifically just kind of want to talk about Clarence. Because now that I'm seeing all these clips and I'm getting more details about what Clarence was saying on his stream, I'm just quite confused. First things first. This idea that Clarence has of I save Queen, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you understand. Queen would have been okay whether she got with you or not. Chris and Queen, let's start there, was a super popular channel. It was De'Ara and Ken, and then Queen and Chris, or Chris and Queen, whatever, however you want to say it, right? Queen had her own following. She was the popular one on the channel. And then when she was going through the whole thing with Chris, and all that embarrassing footage of Chris cheating on her came out, the way she had a village behind her. She had the backing and the support. Clarence, you did not. You was Instagram famous for being a cute, good-looking man. If you did not get with Queen, I don't think you would have been anything more than that. And I'm not trying to shit on your hustle or nothing, but like, you would not be at the level of fame that you are at now. When you first started YouTube, you was boring as shit, okay? Let's just cut to the chase. You was quite freaking boring until you brought Queen on your channel and she put that seasoning on your account. She helped you, she trained you, she built you up to be a better, more personable YouTuber. You did not do that for Queen. Queen did that for you. So this idea that you saved her, kind of weird. And now if you want to sit here and play, well, she was going through this sad situation and I saved her from Chris. Again, I don't necessarily think so. I personally think you played into her vulnerability. Because very early on, it was very obvious, like, you kind of wasn't into her. You did a whole video where you said that, well, not a whole video, but, like, there's a video of you calling her a 6 out of 10 before you even met Shorty. And then in later videos, you said that you wasn't ever trying to get that close to her. You didn't want her to start getting mushy with you, all this other stuff. These are comments that you said out of your mouth. So you already let us know, like, initially, you was not into it. But you saw how much your reputation, your name, and all this other stuff, how much of that was growing. So you played into it. And you know what's crazy? You sit here on the internet and you're saying, yo, y'all can't rush me into like marrying her, all this other stuff. You know, the public's not gonna sway me into marrying her if I'm not ready. But the public literally swayed you into getting into a relationship with Queen. Like, if you didn't have all these people in the comments shipping y'all and all this other stuff, do I honestly think you would have got with her? No. Your ex already exposed that you were saying that it was business. You yourself early on was saying that y'all just have a business like friend relationship. So there's like a level of bullshittery that's just coming out of you, Clarence, and now everybody's smelling it. Next, the capacity of which you talk about CJ is a little weird and a little passive aggressive. Because some of the things you say, it sounds like, I'm eating Spanish food, y'all, so forgive me if my lips look a little greasy. It sounds like you're kind of saying, I kind of don't care about CJ. However, because I'm with Queen, I'm here. And then when you talk about CJ, you talk about him in the capacity of like, oh, I bought him this, I buy him this, I pay for this, we do the PlayStation, it's a lot of materialism, but you're trying to say Chris is a deadbeat. Clarence, how about you talk about being a quote-unquote better father based on like things like life stuff you're actually giving him. I taught him how to ride a bike. I'm coaching him, you know, with his basketball team. I'm teaching him how to fix cars. Some along those lines, you know? I would love to hear how you do for CJ that has nothing to do with what you're paying for. Because being a father, being a parent is more than just materialism. Because realistically, with a child, the materialism is just the bonus of having you be there for them. And Clarence, I feel like that's why it looks so bad when you talk about CJ, because you're acting like you're doing more for CJ, but really you're just doing the bare minimum of just buying him stuff. So stop talking about CJ. Stop talking about this marriage thing. That's the next thing. Because every time you speak, you make yourself look no better. You do all this back and forth with Chris right now about how he, you know, is a bad dad, or he has no clue what union or unity is, and blah, blah. You going back and forth on it. But Clarence, you cannot touch that marriage subject. At least Chris married Queen. You cannot gag that man on marriage. Their marriage didn't work out. They were young growing up. They got this level of fame. Boys gonna be boys. You understand the whole thing. You ain't marrying her. You cannot gag Chris at all. The only way you will be able to fully gag him and shut him up is if you married her and showed you're a way better husband than he could ever be. And then you're sitting here saying, oh, you guys can't sit here and force force me to marry her and this, and that. Like, we can't rush you into marrying her when you're not ready for marriage, which is kind of crazy because you've been with this girl for 7 years. Y'all lived together. Y'all procreated together. But somehow marriage is where you draw the line. You ain't draw the line when you was raw dogging her. But marriage is a thing where you're like, hold on, whoa, let's think about it. You saying that y'all still have things to work on after 7 years. How? How did you not figure that out after 7 years? Like, y'all already lived a big, happy family life. You got the house, you got the kids. What's stopping you from marrying her? Really? So when you come out here and you skirt around the whole why you're not marrying her, that don't help you, nor does it make her look good. And I would think you as her man is supposed to make her look good and to protect her from public opinion. Please note, Queen has not come out and said anything about that, anything that's going on. She did those couple of videos about the whole marriage thing, and she shut up about it real quick because that response and reaction she got from everybody, she knew she cannot talk about that again. However, Clarence, here you are, still fighting for your life every week on this question. And then for you to sit up here and say, oh, Chris, I'm living your dream. How? Clarence, everything you have, Chris had already with Queen. The only thing missing from this dream is the fact that you ain't married to the girl. Like, Clarence, I think you should honestly tread a little bit more lightly because everything you're saying is very clockable. How are you going to sit here and tell Chris that he has no idea how to be a family? He has no idea how to be in a unity or in a union with someone. But you isolated Queen from her union, aka the family. You kicked her mom out of the delivery room. I never see Queen with Tina, with her brother, with her mother. Like, those videos happen and then never again. But you're going to sit here and tell someone they don't know about union? Like, I remember your sister being the one managing her. Queen was up in your mom's house at the family functions. Haven't seen too many videos of you at Queen's family functions. The last time I seen you in any capacity when it came to her family, you was beefing with them. And then all that other stuff came out where the family members are saying they really don't like you because you act a certain way. And now how you're acting is giving them some sort of validity. And it's also adding fuel to the fire of you just riding the Queen wave. So, Clarence, I think you need to tread a little bit more lightly. When it comes to you doing these streams and talking to Chris and doing it, I think you need to tread more lightly because you're not helping. And if you love Queen, if she ain't speaking on it, you shouldn't speak on it. And if you really love Queen, you would stop bringing up CJ every time Chris got something to say. Because it's not the gag you think it is. Chris don't ever talk about Legend. He don't be saying nothing foul about your parenting. He don't be doing none of that. But for whatever reason, when you have an issue with him talking about Queen, you have to bring up CJ. Why do you do that? That sounds very vindictive and like manipulative. Chris said he still loved Queen. What does that have to do with CJ? You dangle CJ like he's a piece of fruit, and that's not a good look. Which adds into the whole you're very passive aggressive about CJ. Like, do you care about CJ or do you like the fact that you have him as a one-up on Chris? Like, you need to look at the semantics of the things that you say, the history, all the videos you have out, all y'all together. You need to, like, pay attention to that. Also, you have time to address everything else, but how come you're not addressing this cheating rumor? There's a girl, I just saw a clip on TikTok of her admitting that she banged you when you was visiting New York last year. Is that the reason why y'all gotta work some things out? Because you stepped out on her? Like, address that. Stop addressing Chris. Address that. Because you look like a hypocrite. I'm just saying. Go and call Chris out for infidelity, but someone out here saying you damn sure did cheat. Clarence, this is not a good look for you. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I was trying to be cool in my last video. Trying to say, like, you chill, you just be kind of out the way. But, like, now you're kind of putting your foot in your mouth a little bit, and it's you getting whacked left and right. It's like the Hulk took you and said, wham, 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 wham. That's literally what's happening to you right now. At this point, give it up. Just stop talking about it. Leave it where it is. Love on Queen. Marry her. Don't marry her. Don't waste her time. Just leave us out the chat at this point. Because this is just not looking good for you, bro. It's not. Also, another thing of advice. You over here clowning Chris for having to start his whole life over and being broke and having a roommate. Bro, you was in a basement. And now you out here glowing like you've had that your entire life. That type of mentality makes you, Clarence, in itself look broke. You act like you never had nothing nice in your life before. And chewing people out for being broke, like you wasn't just broke like yesterday, is really weird. So, like, let's humble it a little bit too, please. When all you can do in an argument is talk about the things that you have spent and what you have, you really show that you have broke nigga mentality. I'm just saying.